Hi, this is Lee Purcell, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
And Roberts with a reminder that the next edition of TV Confidential will premiere next week on the station at the usual time. Our guests will include Danelle Dadigan, founder and president of the Hollywood Museum. We hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, we will close out this hour by playing the remaining moments of our conversation with Torchy Smith. Torchy's book, Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars, features 50 first-hand accounts of such baby boomer celebrities as Jerry Mathers, Bill Mumy, Cubby O'Brien, Stephen Furst, and Catherine Lee Scott. The interviews are divided into 15 categories, including Mouseketeers, actors who played sons, actors who played moms, actors who played sidekicks, familiar faces, and Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo Rivera also wrote the introduction to Shooting the Breeze. Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars is available in hardcover, paperback, and as an ebook through Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and wherever books are sold online. For more about Torchy Smith and his radio show, go to BabyBoomersTalkRadio.com. One of the takeaways for the book that I got, Torchy, is that for those readers who may think about doing a podcast of their own after reading Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars, one of the things you do is you provide tips on how to do that.
A little bit, yeah. At 71 years old, none of my friends really had tech skills like I did, and I was kind of forced into them through the business I had with QuickBooks. Then I was very interested in some other aspects of it, and I do mention that a little bit. I go to Spreaker for mine, but you got to be unique, and you have to have something that you have a passion about.
And not only that, you have to remember that when you ask questions to the celebrity, you're not just asking questions for Torchy, you're asking questions with your listeners in mind. Exactly.
And you can't be everything to all people, and can't compete with CNN and Fox, and it has to be a segment of the. If you just have 5% of the population, that's a few million.
Yeah.
So, it could be anything from bird watching to how to fix your car. Those are usually the most popular that have something to do with somebody else's passion.
What's a typical Torchy Smith interview like? Where do you take the listener?
Well, first of all, it's not hard to do background information anymore. So I watch as much on YouTube and, of course, go to Google them. And a lot of times I wait and have seen them or talked to them at a signature show.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a few times now that I'm known, an agent will call me up and say, so-and-so has a book out.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've interviewed Marilyn Michaels and her book. I also got that type of phone call. Then you say, well, I don't want to ask the same questions. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? Who were your favorite movies? You know, you kind of have to tailor your interview to what the specialty of them would be. Something surprising or something that the audience didn't already know about them.
I have learned that when the guest says that's a good question, that's a good answer because it shows that you got them thinking on their feet.
Yeah. I once had a guy who is a sports announcer here in Cleveland, and I play golf with him, and he's on the radio. He's a radio talk show. And when I started this, I said, give me some tips, help me out here. And his name is Les Levine, and he's pretty well known here in Cleveland. And he says, well, Torchy, I'll do an interview with you. We'll do a little one here, and you could put it on. I said, fine. Oh, great, Les. And this was before I was national.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to my house and is going to do the whole radio thing, and he says, well, where's your list of questions? And I said, oh, well, sure, I have a list of questions. And he reads them. He says, well, I'll tell you something, Torchy. If we get through all these questions, it wasn't a good interview.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to listen, and, of course, it really depends on the person you're interviewing, because if they're having a bad day or they're a little bit obnoxious, and I've had very few of those, but they'll say, yes, no, okay, yeah, maybe, and then you're stuck. Yeah, being prepared is important.
Being prepared is important, and as you say, listening, because 9 times out of 10, the best questions come out of what you just tell me.
Exactly. It's fun, and you're not going to be perfect every time. Everybody uses the word every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that, but you certainly have to have some kind of confidence, and that's a key to being an interviewer and an interviewee. So,
Torchy Smith, our guest. Torchy Smith's radio show, Baby Boomers Talk Radio, is heard on iHeart Radio as well as his website, babyboomerstalkradio.com. Torchy's book, Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars, Surprising Celebrity Conversations for the Retro Generation, is a collection of 50 of the interviews originally heard on Baby Boomers Talk Radio. Shooting the Breeze for Baby Boomer Stars, available Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, where books are sold online.
I got one more thing I was thinking of. When you mentioned the names of the people I've interviewed, somebody could say, Bill Mumy. Who in the hell is Bill Mumy? I don't know Bill Mumy. I never heard of him. Well, the funny thing is, names in that generation were not like the names of stars today, because they were in so many things, but you didn't really know their name. So if I say Bill Mumy, and then I show you a picture of him, you say, oh my, yeah, that's that guy from Lost in Space. But he goes way back. He was in Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And I have people who were little kids that played on Superman and so many other kind of sitcoms. So when you go through my book, many times I show the face of what they were and what they are today.
Yeah, and one of my favorites is George Wyner, who... George Wyner is one of those... you have a category called familiar faces, where you know the face, you don't know the actor's name. I happen to know who George Wyner is because he worked a lot with Jim Garner. And he was sort of an unofficial member of his repertory company, but as you point out, most people will think of him in terms of Spaceballs.
Oh, gosh, he is so funny in Spaceballs. And as soon as you say Spaceballs and you look at that guy, you say, oh, I know that guy, Colonel Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you one bad story about him. I said to him, well, first of all, I said, you must walk down the street, nobody knows who you are. And he says, well, now they kind of do. And he has the kind of deadpan humor that is so funny, but it's not right out in your face. So he kind of blends in. He was in like 200 different TV shows.
Absolutely.
He was in everything. And when he got to Hollywood, he didn't know anybody. And he said, I went on Wilshire Boulevard, lived right a little bit off Wilshire Boulevard. He says, it was so confusing to me, I didn't even go down an interview if it wasn't off Wilshire Boulevard. So once you see him, you'll know him.
Yeah, and those little stories of serendipity, again, they're one of the things that humanize the actors and make them appealable to your listeners and, of course, to your readers in your new book, Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars. One of the interviews featured in your book, Torchy, is with Stephen Furst from Animal House, and Stephen Furst has since passed away. There are actors who unfortunately passed away after you interviewed them, and you feature some of the last interviews with those actors.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I had the last lengthy interview with Stephen Furst, and I could tell he was in ill health when I did interview him. He had his own production company, and his son was taking over. He told me he was sick, but I didn't realize how sick he was, and he had diabetes problems. And he really lost weight for many years. I think he would have died even much earlier if he hadn't lost weight. Talk about a funny thing. Yeah. And one last thing about him, he went, for those who don't know it, he was at Animal House. He was Flounder. And he went out to Hollywood, and it was interesting in my book, you'll read how he got out to Hollywood. Didn't know anybody, got a job as a pizza delivery boy. And he was married at that time, let alone. Needed money, and he stapled his picture and his resume to each pizza box that he delivered. And lo and behold, a producer from Animal House saw his picture and gave him the part through that.
That's half the battle. You got to find some way to make yourself stand out and make people remember you.
That's half the battle in life.
That is half the battle in life. $1 million question. $1 million question, Torchy.
Yeah.
Your given name is Ed. Now, I think Ed is a very fine name, but everybody calls you Torchy. How did you get from Ed to Torchy?
Okay, well, if you could picture Richie Cunningham and a combination of Howdy Doody, when I was born, I had bright red hair. And the nurse brought me to my mother, and she said, "Here's your little Torch." And my mother said, "Oh, that's a good name. We'll name him Torchy." So, lo and behold, everybody called me Torchy. And about third grade, the teacher said, "No, we can't keep on doing this." I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I want to talk to your mother." She called her. I said, "I'm changing his name back to, what's his real name?" She said, "Edward." She says, "Well, he's going to have to learn Edward." And that was it. So, a thing that I never really moved anywhere, and other than the IRS and some other people knowing my name is Edward Smith, it stuck with me till I'm 71 now.
Well, you had bright red hair. You have a bright, buoyant personality. His name is Torchy Smith. He hosts Baby Boomers Talk Radio on iHeart Radio. Torchy Smith is the author of Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars, Surprising Celebrity Conversations for the Retro Generation, a collection of 50 interviews from film and TV stars for the 50s, 60s, and 1970s. Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars is available in hardcover, paperback, and as an ebook through Amazon.com, BarnesNoble.com, wherever books are sold online. For more information on Torchy's show, BabyBoomersTalkRadio.com. Torchy Smith, you're a lot of fun. Good luck with the book and your show.
Well, thank you very much. And to any of my teachers that are still listening, they were wrong when they said you'll never get anywhere being immature.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
If you haven't been listening to TV Confidential, this is who you're missing.
Connie Stevens, Dawn Wells,
Eric Braden,
Tommy Camille,
Danson Williams, Don Most, Roy Finnis, Peter Marshall,
Sherry Alberoni,
George Slaughter, Dan Castellaneta, Taylor Hicks,
Lindsay Wagner, Loretta Swit,
And many, many more of your favorite celebrities and people behind the scenes in the world of television. That's TV Confidential. Every week on this station and every day online at televisionconfidential.com.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Are payday loans ruining your life? Do you want control over your money again? If you have 2 or more payday loan cash advances, listen closely. You may be eligible for a program payday loan companies don't want you to know about. A program that may help get aggressive and unfair payday loan companies out of your bank account and get you back on track to financial freedom. Payday loan companies may trap you into paying outrageously high interest rates, and they take way too much of your hard-earned money every week. We understand their tactics and know how to keep them off your back. We'll fight hard to help you regain control of your money. If you have 2 or more payday loan cash advances, call right now for a free consultation.
800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. 800-488-5880. That's 800-488-5880.
Hi, this is Wayne Correa, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Roberts with a reminder that you can listen to TV Confidential on your smart speaker just by saying, "Alexa, play TV Confidential." Enabling the TV Confidential Alexa skill is easy. To find out how to do it, go to televisionconfidential.com. A reminder that Shooting the Breeze with Baby Boomer Stars is available in hardcover, paperback, and as an ebook through Amazon.com as well as BarnesandNoble.com and wherever books are sold online. For more information on Torchy Smith and his radio show, go to BabyBoomersTalkRadio.com. Mary, the Mary Tyler Moore Story, is available through JacobsBrownMediaGroup.com as well as Amazon.com and wherever books are sold online. Finally, Lookout America, the secret Hollywood studio at the heart of the Cold War. Lookout America is available in bookstores everywhere at the University of Chicago Press. You can also find it at Amazon.com and wherever books are sold online. To learn more about Lookout Mountain Laboratory, go to lookoutamerica.org. That'll do it for our program this week, folks. Ed Roberts, on behalf of Tony Figueroa, Donna Allen, Phil Grace, Greg Ehrbar, and our producer, Chris Corman, thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next time on TV Confidential. You can listen to this show all over again as a podcast on TuneIn, iTunes, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and other podcast platforms. Best of all, it's free. To find out how to subscribe to the TV Confidential podcast, go to the homepage at televisionconfidential.com and click subscribe now.